He's Jordy Nelson. He once played for the Packers and retired as a member of the Oakland Raiders, won a Super Bowl, and he joins us now on the program. Jordy, how's morale?
It's good. Everything's great. It's good to be to have that chapter done, and looking forward to the next.
Was there any chance you could have gone back to the Patriots or Packers?
No, they didn't show any interest at all after last year, or after being released by Oakland, and so I don't think that door was ever opened again. So, but I have talked to Mark Murphy, and he's opened up the door to come back and do the one-day deals. So we're still working on time to get that done, and that way I can sign a contract and retire a Packer and end where we started.
Is it health related? Like why are you retiring?
It's not health related. Body feels great, and I guess it could be health related because I want to leave the game in that way. I don't want to play as long as I can until my body is beat up and I'm forced out. Another thing was I didn't really feel like moving my family again. They haven't even been out here in California for a year, and so that was part of it. And after playing 11 years and then 5 in college and then 4 in high school and 2 in middle school, 20-some years of football, and I think I've had a good time and enjoyed it, and kind of want to go, out playing good. I don't want to slowly just get, less and less of talent every year and then just kind of fall out of the league. So I'm not going out on top, like winning a Super Bowl, but also going out when I wanted to. And my wife and I feel extremely, proud of what we accomplished and what we've done on and off the field. And, we just felt like we looked at it all different angles, probably talked about it for a couple of weeks trying to decide what to do. And every time it came down to just move back to Kansas and get the kids back in their school that they'll be at for the rest of their life and get back on the farm.
Who tried to talk you into continuing to play?
No one tried to convince me to continue to play. The Seahawks showed great interest once I got released, and I have a lot of respect for John Snyder and that organization. They reached out last year, too, when I got released by Green Bay. So I went up there and had a visit with them. But like I said, Oakland tried to get me to come back at a different deal. But like I said, when it came down to it, we just decided not to move our family again and go home and be done and be happy with it. So we're not second guessing anything we did. Like I said, my wife and I talked about it probably every day for 2 weeks. From different angles, trying to convince ourselves to retire, trying to convince ourselves to play, trying to convince ourselves that let's go move again. But every time we did it, it always came back to just be done. I mean, if you would have told me 11 years ago when I got drafted that I'd have an 11-year career, win a Super Bowl, and everything that I accomplished, I think I would take it and ride off into the sunset and be happy, and that's what's going to happen.
What's tougher, farming or football?
Oh, man. Farming is longer days. I think it'd be harder for someone to adjust to farming and doing that day in and day out year-round compared to I think you can get used to playing football. I mean, if you're somewhat athletic, I guess. Farming is a toll on the body. It's just different. When I go back in the summers, even now, and obviously we'll be there year-round, just constantly being on your feet, being constantly working from 7 o'clock in the morning till during summertime it's 7 or 8, 9 o'clock at night that you're still out doing stuff because you don't even really pay attention what time it is. If the sun's up, you're still kind of going and you feel like you can get another thing accomplished. So when you're putting in those hours and constantly on your feet, constantly moving, it wears on you. And that's why I enjoyed doing it during the summer because it made training camp. The long days of training camp seem easy. It was easy to go sit in meetings all day. It was easy to go practice for a couple hours, and then, so the body was used to being up all day.
How did Aaron Rodgers do on the farm?
He struggled in Kansas. He had allergies, so he was sneezing the whole time. He didn't make it very long. So he might need another run at it. We've had some good stories of people coming back. We had another one. They come back from our benefit golf tournament that we put on in June. And so they get to see a little bit of taste of the farm and then play golf. But he was sneezing the whole time we were playing golf and around in Kansas. Randall, called thing, and he went home after the golf tournament to take a quick nap, woke up 4 hours later and said I could come get him. I said, well, the event's over with, buddy. I'm coming home. I'm done for the day. So I tell you, it's a different life when you got to be up 12 hours a day.
Aside from winning that
Working
Super
12
Bowl,
hours a day.
What's your favorite individual moment that you had?
Oh, man. I don't know if I can name one moment. I think when I came back from my ACL and that whole year following it, ended up winning Comeback Player of the Year. And it wasn't even necessarily, obviously, performing well and being successful in the field was huge, but being able to practice for 16 straight weeks and not miss a day of practice, not have to take a day off because of my knee, knowing the process it took to get back from that and, the build up to the season and everything, and to be able to do that was a huge accomplishment for me. And I take a lot of pride in that. And I think a lot of the athletic trainers that I had in Green Bay, they did a great job of not only physically preparing me, but mentally keeping my mind fresh, keeping my mind into it. Because I think a lot of guys struggle with big surgeries like that. Is they get in a lull. They get, I don't want to say depressed, but just get down and can't stay up. And I think your mind's a very powerful muscle that can control a lot of things. And if you stay up and enjoy the process, I tried to enjoy the process of coming back from that ACL as much as possible, and then have the success that I was able to that following year was I was very proud of, and I'll always remember that.
Help me understand this. On December 28th, John Gruden says that, yeah, you're coming back, and the Raiders gave you a $3.6 million bonus, and then they cut you March 14th. So what happened from December 28th to March 14th that you were no longer wanted in Oakland?
I don't know. They just gave me a very nice retirement gift, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a crazy business, as people find out each and every year. I think they got some free agents that they didn't think they were going to get or be a part of, is what I've been told. But yeah, it's an interesting business. And
do you think if they didn't get Antonio Brown, you'd still be there?
Yes, and I don't think it's necessarily just Antonio Brown. I think also when they signed Tyrell Williams, and even I think it's Trent Brown, the tackle from the Patriots. I think they were just spending a lot more money than what they were expecting to spend. But I'll take the retirement gift. Very gracious of them.
What if Aaron Rodgers calls you in late July?
That'll be an interesting phone call. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could play hypotheticals. But if he truly called and I'm not going to say begging me to come back, but asking me to come back and they're in need, it probably would be hard to say no. But we would have to see where we're at that point. That's the crazy thing that happened with James Jones the year I did tear my ACL. He was in New York during training camp, and I tore my ACL, and then he got released by New York, and everyone's like, go get James Jones. He can step right in. He knows the system, which it's a little different now since they have a new coaching staff, a new offense. But obviously there's a lot of the same that's still there. Football's football. So that would be, if that happened, that'd be a very, very interesting question. But my guess is that it won't.
Jordy, thanks for the moments. Thanks for the career, and good luck with the rest of your life. And we appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That's Jordy Nelson.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.